Oh, Waizowl, whoa. Now give me some of that Waizowl. Put me up in the clouds. Oh, put me up in the cloud. Ultra wideband. Woo! Yeah. UWB. Ultra wideband. That cloud. Ultra wideband. By Waizowl. FragWatch here. So we're going to be doing the review, long awaited, thank God this is coming out, of the Waizowl Cloud Ultra Wideband. Very exciting. I was going to review this a month ago, maybe a little bit more than that, but I was having disconnect issues with the mouse and the dongle. I was getting rapid disconnect reconnects in Windows, and I had a pretty good idea of what was going on firmware side and how it could be addressed. And I worked directly with the engineers at Waizowl and got a temporary firmware produced that I put on this in the dongle, and it works flawlessly. I think that firmware is public already or will be soon. And it fixed all the connection issues I had, the USB connection issues, the handshake to Windows issues that I was having. And that just involved having two HID devices at the same time that shared fucking identification number. So it, just changed the handshake of that. So this really has a technology that pushes the industry forward quite a bit and is going to be incredible for LAN tournaments. I'm talking total game changer, like next generation type stuff. It's the ultra wideband RxTX. The receiving and transmitting on this is just awesome. Well, I guess it's just transmitting. It's not really receiving anything from that. Well, maybe when the DPI, yeah, I guess it does RxTX. I'm stupid. Sorry. I was unable to jam this at multiple distances, multiple real world use distances, both with a flipper and with a hack RF, both with additional auxiliary antennas, the hack RF with additional amplification and module. And I was unable to jam this. I flooded, and I would use both of them simultaneously, just trying to jam this up. I've never been able to not have the ability to jam a mouse, and in some instances even be able to spoof the mice depending on the handshake that it has with the dongle. I was unable to do that with this mouse unless the mouse was 10 feet back in the room, like at the very far end of this room, and the dongle was on the desk, and the Dolphin and the flipper were just spamming, right? Just creating chaos on the airwaves. I ran at the 900 megahertz level, 2.4 gigahertz, both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi bands. The 5 gigahertz range, that's public access, even the European channels that are open. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. But the 6 gigahertz channel, the 60 gigahertz channels, I really just laid it out there, and the NFC channels. I laid it out there and tried to jam this, and I could not. I would put at the end of the mouse here, have hack RF and the Dolphin here, and I just couldn't do it. Very impressive. That's, I have even, events 8-9 years ago that I helped coordinate and administer. I was fearful that people would jam wireless signals right when wireless mice were becoming kind of usable, right? Like the G901 and 903 by Logitech, the first Lightspeed mice. And it was just like, kind of groundbreaking. And I was using those at the time, and I had the fear that people would start trying to jam the signal at LAN tournaments. And lucky for us, there hasn't been major issues with that, but it's very possible somebody in the crowd could sneak one in, and even from 30 feet away could jam up mice or create enough of an issue to affect the performance of players. This ultra wideband technology really makes that almost impossible. I mean, I'm using the best prosumer gear money can buy, and I have a pretty deep expertise with it, and I just could not. I couldn't do it. I mean, I don't get impressed by things like this very often. That was very impressive to me, and having the engineers help come out with a firmware just for the review is really cool. I think that's very honorable and very good of you, Waizowl. I'm not a big channel, but to come out and want to do that for me is very awesome, and I really appreciate that. And it was difficult for me to wait on reviewing this because the technology there is so good with that disconnect issue was so bad. Let's get to the shape. This is an awesome large claw grip mouse just across the board. I think this will fit a variety of hand sizes depending on whether you are relaxed claw or aggressive claw. My hands are 17.5 to the middle finger, 16.5 index, 12.5 across, 4 and 2. I think the thickness matters because the pads of your hands are going to affect how you're able to grip a mouse. Like the width is going to matter when this is less contracted. You know what I mean? There's less room to operate here, you guys get it. So I was able to relax claw this primarily. I could get an aggressive claw on it, but I would get just a little less stable on the back side. I'd have to put all my pressure on the top side of this. Comparable mice to this, I would say the Viper V3 Pro has a similar, like, very full in hand feeling. The G-Wolves HTM Plus, I'll pull that out right now, has a somewhat similar feel. I would put the Viper, this is definitely the skinniest of those three. I don't have the Viper out here. I think it's in the box. I don't have the Viper out here, but it is more curvaceous at the front and back. And the hump is, it's a little bit more back, and it just feels slightly different, at least end to end. But the in-hand feeling feels very similar to the Cloud UWB. The HTM also feels full in hand, but is much skinnier. So if you have thinner hands and you want this full in-hand feeling, this is where I'd probably recommend you go, or to the Viper V3. We're imagining this here together, okay? This is an exercise in imagination. This is an exercise in imagination, and the colors of this mouse really make your mind work. Woo! I love this colorway, by the way. Incredible. This is a very full in-hand feel. Definitely not a fingertip grip mouse. This is another mouse, and I said this about the Viper V3, and I'm going to say it about this one in its review as well. If you are transitioning from a palm grip with an ergo, this would be a good introduction to a palm grip with a symmetrical mouse. So I think for a variety of hand sizes, like I'm trying to get it, I can get a pretty good palm grip in there on this. And I think this is a good transition to get used to symmetrical mice. If you're used to ergos and you want to try symmetrical mice, especially if you're into large ergos like a Death Adder or the Stormbreaker Max, this is a good. This is the Death Adder V3, and it's just a good transition over to this. Let's pull out, what other symmetrical mice do I have? Let's get the Vuk, the Trinity. Let's get all the ones I have on my desk that are symmetrical out. The Juan. So if I didn't just stop this recording, that would be a real bummer. Let's get a Beast Mini. What else do I got here that's not in a bag? I think what's this one? This is the Raw M. It's kind of, it's symmetrical. It's symmetrical enough. Oh, and here's a Beast regular size. Let's get that instead of the Mini. The Mini up there. And the Fenrir for reference. So let's get all these, and I will get them, compare them, put them in a lineup. Okay. Hear my clock in the back. Now, in order of do I like this better or not, I like the Cloud UWB better than the Raw M21. I like it better than the VUC by G-Wolves. This is a tough one for me. Just due to my hand size, I like the Trinity by Ponage better than the Cloud. This would be a tie. This is the G-Wolves HTM Plus and the Cloud Ultra Wideband. And this is just off of shape alone. Okay, this isn't anything else. I like the Cloud better than the Beast. And I like, just due to my hand size, the Huan better than the Cloud. This is an awesome mouse, especially for larger hands. Let me be very clear about that. Or if you have, if you like the Viper V3 and you want to try ultra wideband or new technology, or you love this colorway because it is incredible, I recommend checking this out. This is a good mouse. The skates underneath are corner skates. It comes with 3 types of skates. I can't remember correctly. You can watch the unboxing video I have if you want that information. The drivers were good. They were functional. Comes with a sensor skate. The scroll wheel has the transfer smoothness that I like. I had no issues with b-hopping with this. All of the actuations in the troughs were good. It didn't back actuate in my experience with it. It's a little bit muddy, the actual middle mouse click, but everything else, the clicks are very satisfying. Good tactile force. There is about 1.5 millimeters, maybe even 2, of pre-travel on both buttons. Even the side buttons have a little bit of like pre-travel, but it's tolerable. All the buttons do have a good tactile feel and audible sound, though. That's very satisfying, and they all have really good rebound force. I think out of the box, this comes with 0 millisecond debounce. Put that to 2 minimum. I really recommend like 3 ms on debounce. Yeah. I really just enjoyed this mouse. Is it one I'd recommend? Yeah, under the circumstances I listed. If you're used to large mice, you like large mice, this is one that you should take a look at, that you should consider. If you already have a mouse that works for you, let me be very clear about this too. If you already have a mouse that you love and is working for you, no need to change it. Really, there is no need to change it. If you're happy with what you have, stick with it, really. Yeah. I played on glass, cloth, I probably played on 10 or 15 pads with this. I've had this out on my desk for 2 months now, maybe a little bit longer, and using it. And I'm glad they fixed the issues. It's been a real pleasure to use it after that. It was a real struggle up until that point, but I have played a lot of, I think the Diablo experience on this was really fun for me. And I mean, it's memorable, right? I play a lot of Counter-Strike and Battlefield and stuff like that, but it was like just the satisfaction of the clicks in Diablo was notable. But anyways, this is a mouse I would recommend. It is one of the better mice if you are used to large ergo mice and want to try a large symmetrical that transfer over to symmetrical mice. And in my experience, I think people play competitive games better with symmetrical mice. At least for tracking games, I think. I think for static shooters, ergos have their place for sure. All right, we'll wrap that up. Get my main out here, the Juan, my main claw grip right now. It's a good one. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that's a lot of ums. Oh, thank you for watching FragWatch Show, the review of the Waizowl cloud that you know, with that ultra wide band signal as it flows. Yeah, we got it right now. It's how the music goes. Thanks for watching.